This will be a simple demo showing you how to use the Rhino named viewports and bring them into Maya. So I have a simple scene here which is included in the example file that you can download. Just a simple surface so we can kind of see the camera matching. Let me delete this and we'll get into that in a second. So I have also Maya opened. This is Maya 2013, but this script I know it was created back when Maya 2011 was still sort of the latest release. So I know it works in 2011, 12, 13, and even the next release. So again, it's just the same thing. I brought this file in from Rhino as an FBX. I like it because it keeps layer structure and things like that. So in Maya, I basically have the same surface. I have two cameras in Maya, Maya Cam 1 and Maya Cam 2. I'm going to show you how to bring these cameras into Rhino. And then in Rhino, I'll show you how to get those cameras out into Maya. The main reason for this sort of little script was just to kind of plug a little workflow gap in that I really like Rhino's ability to show all kinds of hidden line and not so much pen or artistic, but I create a lot of custom view types here, like shaded two-sided or something like that, and then use Photoshop or After Effects to composite the two together on top of like a Maya render or something like that, and it makes for a really good kind of compositing, and it certainly helps when the cameras match. So let's go back here, and so what we have here is the surface. So let's create some views that we're gonna bring into Rhino for us. Again, this is the named view panel, and you can get that from the panels drop down, named views. So I'm just gonna rotate around, and it's very easy. You just kind of get to where you like a view and click save, and we'll just call it Rhino Cam 1. That's fine. I'll pick a couple others. We'll go over here and I'll save that, and we'll call that Rhino Cam 2. And I'll make a third one, maybe, I don't know, something like that. Doesn't really matter. You just kind of set up your views how you like them and simply save them. So now that we have the nice saved views, we're here. By the way, I'm in Rhino 5. I have not tested this in Rhino 4. I haven't opened Rhino 4 in, I don't know, a good year and a half since Rhino 5 has been so stable, so I don't even know if it works in Rhino 4. So you all should be in Rhino 5 anyway. At least that's my opinion. So here's there's my named views. I can get back to them very quickly. And let's see how the script works. So in Grasshopper, we just open up the file. I'm going to re-upload this just in case I made some changes. It's called Rhino View to Maya Cam R2. And basically all this is a custom script node. And I haven't packed it up because, it might be good to see how you can kind of talk to another program or something like that later. This one may be a little bit complicated if you're sort of new to scripting, but I thought it'd be good to keep it completely open source, modify as you will. Basically, the meat of the script, this is the simple part that basically just takes a whole bunch of camera views and writes them out. This is the kind of important code down here, where this is the base code to actually write a Maya file. So I'm actually writing out a Maya ASCII file that Maya can read natively, and so this is all the base code I need to actually create cameras in a Maya ASCII file, create the attributes, create everything that needs to happen to make a proper Rhino file, Maya file, sorry. And the reason it's import only because I didn't include any of the headers or any of the other base information that would allow you to open it up directly. So the only thing in that ASCII file is a bunch of camera data, and so you can't open it up directly because I don't include any of the headers. There was no reason to, and it's just a lot of extra code to create the header file, the headers to create the base geometry and all of the other kind of stuff that Maya wants as an actual file. So it works fine as an import only, and you'll see I tag it as import only. You don't really need to know much of that. The only thing you need to know is that you give it fname, meaning file name. We're going to call this test camera. That's what the Maya file is going to be named, and then a path to save it in. So I'm just going to save it in my examples file. Y-up, if it's true, that means it's going to rotate Rhino's z-axis to be y-up, because in Maya, y is up by default, and you know, I've been using Maya for so long that I would never switch it back to z-up. So I always use Maya and y-up. And send, basically this is sort of a meaningless input. It just toggles a refresh. That's all it does. It doesn't matter if this is true or false, but basically every time you toggle it, it rewrites the file. You know, it'd be nice if there was like a recalculate right on here as opposed to recalculate the entire scene button, or a quick way to sort of recalculate a node without having to change an input, but there isn't. So basically you just toggle this every time you make a change. Okay, and it writes it out. So basically if I edit another view in the background, I can just toggle this again and it writes out. You can see this is all the views it's going to write out, so it writes out my fourth view. Okay, so let's go to Maya now, and we're just going to go to File Open, File Import. I'm sorry, Import. Okay, and you're going to see it's going to create test camera. So that was what I named it in Rhino, and then it appends it with the name _import only. I have it do that because I just want to make it very clear that this has to be imported into a scene, not open directly. So it's just a native Maya file, and we just say you can tell it not to use namespaces for this particular operation. We don't really need the namespaces. And we'll change that to clashing nodes and import it. So basically you'll see here are my Rhino cameras as native Maya cameras. Okay, so Rhino Cam 1, Rhino Cam 2, Rhino Cam 3, Rhino Cam 4. I write it out as target and aim cameras with proper focal length. So it actually grabs the focal length that's from Rhino, and the aim and the camera itself, and so it writes out camera with aim. So you can go, you know, and switch to any camera, and you'll see that this view, that's Cam 2, and this view are identical. We'll go back to Maya. So you can see those two views are identical, and I kind of did a quick little screenshot in Photoshop, so you can see that's the Maya view, that's the Rhino view. So when you do renders, they'll match identically, and you'll be able to do perfect compositing. So that's all that really needs to happen there. I mean, it's a very, very simple script, and I'll you know, write out the Maya file for you so you can do some camera matching. Now to go the other way, I had written a script previously that you had to use in Grasshopper, but I don't know if this is new or just something I missed later, but FBX is a format I like a lot. So if you're in Maya and you want to bring your cameras into Rhino, just grab, without having to use any custom scripts. You can now do this natively. I don't know if Rhino 4's FBX importer supports cameras, but Rhino 5's does. You can just grab the Maya cams. So these are cameras I set up in Maya, and export them export selection as an FBX, and we'll call them Maya cams. And make sure that under advanced you put Z up. Okay, so we drop down advanced, we go to axis conversion, and we choose Z up because that's what Rhino is, and we make sure that cameras is checked, and you just say export selection, go back into Rhino, file, import, Maya cams, that's what I called it. You don't have to scale them, they're cameras. And you'll see Maya Cam 1 and Maya Cam 2. And so now you have full round tripping of cameras from Rhino to Maya, Maya to Rhino, with the simple help of this little Grasshopper script.